Welcome back. It's that time of the week. It's time for another episode of The Secret Diaries of a Gay Gynecologist in Paris, a memoir. Yes, you heard right, a memoir by Rafael Herrero, MD, PhD. The Secret Diaries of a Gay Gynecologist in Paris by Rafael Herrero, MD, PhD. Caution, may contain adult language. Chapter 3. Ready, set, go. Palma de Mallorca, Spain, January, 45 days later. In the taxi cab heading for the airport east of Palma, I looked out the window, bidding the city goodbye. My cab raced past towering palm trees down the majestic Paseo Marítimo, the grand boulevard that traces the city's seafront. I admired the wide bay of royal blue, the sun's rays dancing on its waves, the mild chill of the early hour quickly burning away. For the last time I took in the beauty of the medieval Sayonja, an exquisite Gothic building that had been a fish market. The cab halted at a stoplight below the ramparts of what I considered the most beautiful cathedral in Spain, the last stop before hitting the highway to the airport. Free from any other buildings blocking its view, the cathedral stood proudly right above the water, showing off its lofty green stone walls for all of the Mediterranean to see. My hands rested on the briefcase on my lap. Now, 5 years after obtaining my medical degree, thanks to Palma de Mallorca, I'd been awarded the legal privilege of calling myself a specialist in the European Union. And now I was off to Paris. As we approached the Son San Juan airport, I asked myself again, not if this was a good or bad move, but why? The cold drizzle in grey Paris awaited me. I was leaving the rosy almond tree fields of inland Mallorca, a leisurely life in a city of calm faces and easy smiles. Every summer, hordes of tourists from northern Europe descended on the island searching for sun, sex, or booze. The drugs are in Ibiza, showering the island with young bodies and condoms. Why? What was a gay guy like me doing flying away from all this hedonistic splendor? Did it have anything to do with Georges Sand's furious flight from the island, where she'd lived for a year with her lover Chopin? She'd actually despised the island so much for treating her like a trouser-wearing, pipe-smoking lesbian who didn't go to church that she wrote a whole book disparaging its homo-hating inhabitants. The feminist had run away in horror from a backward Spain to an enlightened France. Was I doing the same? Despite that, Mallorca was a piece of paradise. How many places were there on earth where you could enjoy at a moment's notice a sunny tennis court overlooking the sea with a respectable opera house just a few minutes away? I was giving up a joyfully cosmopolitan island. The Spanish aristocracy flocked to it every summer. In the west of Palma, the King and Queen of Spain had their summer palace, Marivent, right next to the English city of sin, Magaluf. In the east, the city overlooked the German outpost of El Arenal. Towards the north, the old French port of Soyer and the Swedish hub of Alcudia. Europeans had been battling each other for centuries, but now they were all basking together on this island under the sun. Palma had its very own Barrijueu, a silent gem of Jewish and medieval architecture in the very heart of the city. Peace on earth. I clenched my briefcase. Was I out of my mind? I still hardly knew André. I had no family in France, and even though I'd spent a month in Paris, I hardly had a sense of the city. My culture certainly wasn't French, and neither was my language. My mastery of the French language was, at best, conversational. On a professional level, I'd never studied any type of medicine in French. All my medical textbooks were in English. Now I was an MD with a diploma in OB-GYN, obstetrics and gynecology, and I was moving to a country where I had no contracts and no one had any idea of my level of competency? Why? Should I tell the driver to stop? I brought my briefcase to my chest. I looked down at the dirty carpet on the cab floor. Could it be that I was being drawn by the insulting beauty of Parisian architecture? Was it the food? Was I seeking the sophistication and enlightenment seasoned with a bit of decadence that in my eyes was so français? Here I was, an American guy born in the Bay Area to a family from Madrid who'd spent half of his life in the United States and the other half in Spain, and now I was running away from everything I'd known. I clutched my briefcase even tighter, but then it hit me, and I smiled. What I did know was that I had the hots for Frenchmen, and André was one fine Frenchman. The French might not be the best-looking men, but their personnalité, their personality, their confidence had me on my knees. It wasn't about their bodies. American gay guys have better bodies. They spend a lot more time in the gym so they can get good sex. But the French are actually having it. Now that's what I wanted. I wanted to have sex with sexy Frenchmen. And now I had André. I put my briefcase down. Finally, I was going to have love and sex galore.
Eh bien voilà, mes amis, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's it for today, my friends. Join me for our next show of The Secret Diaries of a Gay Gynecologist in Paris, a memoir by Rafael Herrero, MD, PhD. Contact me at Rafael Herrero, RAFAEL.HERRERO.SF, like in San Francisco, at gmail.com. Au revoir, à la semaine prochaine, et vive Paris!
If you liked today's episode, would you please like my Facebook page? Search for A Gay Gynecologist in Paris. Please give me a hand and follow me as well on Twitter at Gay Gyno Paris with no spaces between the words, and share with me all your thoughts. Thank you, and see you next week. Salut mes amis, ici le gynécologue gay de Paris, The Gay Gynecologist in Paris. Suivez-moi sur Facebook. Vous pouvez me trouver sous Gay Gynecologist Paris. Faites-moi un like, s'il vous plaît. Vous pouvez me suivre aussi sur Twitter, at Gay Gyno Paris. Ça s'appelle JAYGYNO, Paris comme la ville Paris. Répandions le bonheur et soyons tous amis sur Facebook and Twitter. Au revoir, beaucoup de bisous et à bientôt.